Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
Purina believes no one should have to make the impossible choice between their own safety and their pets. But nearly half of domestic abuse survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Through the Purple Leash Project, Purina is helping create more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters so survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to learn more.
Big news. Sephora is now on Uber Eats. So if you find yourself facing a beauty emergency, like needing a last-minute gift, or you're just out of your favorite mascara, again, don't panic. We got you. Order now and get $10 off on Sephora orders of $50 or more on the Uber Eats app. Order now. Offer ends October 30th. One order per customer. Additional terms apply. See app for availability. Delivery fees may apply.
Hey everyone, welcome to this edition of Spin Shuffle Skip on the There Can Only Be One podcast and a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. So, some of the actors out there in Hollywood are ridiculously multi-talented individuals. Not only can they act on screen, not only can do all these stunts that they sometimes have to do, some of them also have some hidden talent. Some of them like to unhide that talent and release albums, and some of them are actual superheroes. So for the next couple of episodes on Spin Shuffle Skip, we're going to be talking Avenger albums. And we're not talking about the soundtrack, because we did actually talk about the first Avengers movie soundtrack on this show. No. We're talking about actors who play in the Avengers universe, in the MCU, but just happen to have albums out. And here to join me, a superhero of a co-host himself, Lyle Robichaux's back on the show. Lyle, how you doing, man?
I am so excited, Jason. I absolutely love the little gold mine that we found here, because most of the main cast of the Avengers, sans Captain America and the Hulk, have albums.
Oh, I thought about throwing Jeff Goldblum onto the list just for fun, but he has so many albums, he feels like there can only be one episode all by himself.
And people don't realize, I have actually seen Jeff Goldblum live. He was at Jazz Fest here in Toronto one year with his band. He doesn't sing that much. It's more of an orchestral vibe to it. So we went waiting to see Jeff Goldblum, and we did see Jeff Goldblum, but playing the piano.
I mean, the minute anyone mentions the words actor album, some people will come up with actually decent albums. Jennifer Love Hewitt actually has some decent albums to her name. There are actors out there who have put out really good albums. And then there's like the Leonard Nimoys and the William Shatners.
Bilbo
Baggins. Greatest little hobbit of them all.
If you don't know what we're talking about, nor did I, until Jason led me to the Leonard Nimoy single, The Legend of Bilbo Baggins. Look it up.
I actually put that video on the website, and I'm surprised people haven't tried to take the entire website off the internet after that.
That is a fever dream. But you're right. There's some actors that can crisscross over, and some of them who started the acting career with that singing career firmly in the headlights is what the goal was. Miley Cyrus comes to mind.
Oh, yeah.
Started off with the actress, Disney Channel, Hannah Montana fame. A lot of the Disney kids cross over into music and have varying degrees of success. I would say Miley's probably the biggest one they've had, but it can happen, and some people are quite good at it.
I mean, even you go back to like the Mickey Mouse Club days with the Britney Spears and the Christina Aguileras and the Justin Timberlakes.
Absolutely. Like sometimes that's part and parcel with your career path.
But every now and then someone comes out with some music and you're like, okay, let's check this out. This happened a few times with MCU actors. And we're going to
To
start
varying degrees of success.
to
We'll
some
say.
varying degrees of success. But we're going to start with someone who I think we need to give him this title after all he's gone through. Jeremy Renner is an actual superhero, considering that he survived being run over by like that snowplow.
Yeah, by a snowplow. And that's not the first hardship the guy has had to go through either. Also, seems to be a pretty cool dude off the camera. Did a great job in the Hawkeye show. I liked it. Also, made what could have very well have been the most forgettable Avenger very entertaining in the Avengers movies. We love Jeremy Renner.
Just for the record, if Hawkeye's around, the Avengers win. When Hawkeye's not around, we
They
lose.
don't.
We lose half the universe.
Yeah, 100%. And he becomes Ronin, which is awesome. Yeah, the dude's been through crazy stuff. He's had a wild life. So to see that he has an album, I went into it my interest very peaked. I'm like, this could be anywhere on the map. I had no expectations for this one.
Yeah, and by the way, we actually covered Jeremy Renner's first movie on It's Not That Bad, National Lampoon's Senior Trip. So if you haven't seen that one, you have to see that one.
I've seen all the Lampoons, and that's, yeah.
All right, well, let's start with Jeremy Renner's first EP, The Medicine, released March 27th, 2020. And keep in mind, Jeremy Renner's only put out EPs. He's put out 3 of them, mind you, but he only puts out EPs, and this one is about 7 songs long. And there's some mood on this disc. Like, I was impressed.
I did, like I said, with some of the Avengers stuff that I've heard, I went into it kind of expecting certain things because you get the vibe of certain people, right? But when I looked at Jeremy Renner and I went into his EP, my thought wasn't, I'm going to try to be Michael Bublé today, which is what this whole album feels like. Even down to the album cover, the vibes of some of the songs. This man wanted to be Michael Bublé very badly.
But Michael Bublé in a very smoky dive bar kind of vibe.
Jason, we're on the exact same wavelength. The very thing I have written down in my notes about this album is this is Michael Bublé if he played at a jazz bar somewhere. That's like if he's like a smoky dive, middle of nowhere kind of, yeah, that's exactly what the image it conjured up in my mind as well.
Michael Bublé on the sauce. That's basically what this is like.
Exactly. Michael Bublé with a cigarette is what I have.
I like that. I kind of like that. All right. So we're going to start with you and your spin pick from Jeremy Renner's The Medicine album.
My spin pick is Main Attraction. Toward the tail end of the album, more rocky, a little bit harder, got into more of that, kind of took that smokiness we were just talking about and cranked it up a little bit. I liked that about this one. That was kind of the outlier for me a little bit, but in the very best way. It doesn't sound the same. I don't want to say it all sounds the same. But like I said, it has that Michael Bublé kind of big band feeling to it. This one breaks the mold a little bit, and I think his voice lended very well to that style of music.
I'm not trying to paint a picture for anyone who's never listened to a Jeremy Renner album, but allow me to paint a picture of Jeremy Renner vocally. And I find it interesting because of the Hawkeye look that he has in the films. I'm listening to his voice. I'm listening to his singing voice. And I'm getting a whole lot of Jacoby Shaddix from Papa Roach vibes from the way he's singing.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. It does have, more sense than I ever would have thought about it. Actually, I'd never made that comparison, but you're so right.
And the faux hawk kind of adds to it. But I mean,
I was about to, it's the hair too.
Yeah. But the funny thing is that that's not a bad thing because Papa Roach has lasted way longer than anyone probably ever gave them any credit for. And Jacoby Shaddix has gotten better and better and better every album. So that's actually a compliment, especially, and if you listen to this episode, like there can only be one when we talked about Papa Roach on this show. Hell's yeah, we got mad love for Papa Roach here.
And it's like, just like you said, for a lot of bands that are in their situation, especially Papa Roach specifically, I found out for them, of course, when they did the theme song for Monday Night Raw and when they did a couple pay-per-view theme songs, that almost was a mark of death back in the day when you did a WWE pay-per-view theme song, unless you were a huge band they paid a stupid amount of money for WrestleMania. It's like, oh, wow, okay, here's a one-hit wonder. This will be their big hit, and then we'll never hear from these guys again. Papa Roach, you just grew up with them.
Mm-hmm.
You just saw them, like you said, after every album comes out, it's better than the last. It's better than the last.
Yeah, I mean, pay-per-view songs, They kind of came and they went and it's whatever, right? To be the theme song from Raw.
For Raw. Yeah. Sharing the same spotlight as Green Day.
And Nickelback.
And Nickelback.
Burn to the ground. Yeah.
Maybe the best one they ever had. Could be the best one they ever had.
I mean, I'm still partial to when NXT used Welcome Home by Coheed and Cambria, but that's because I'm a huge Coheed and Cambria fan.
And Across the Nation, of course. Get the drugs, the money. That's Mount Rushmore for sure.
All right. So for my spin pick, I'm going right off the bat. I'm going with the title track, The Medicine. You were talking about this album having some good rockier vibes. I love the mood on this one. It's almost haunting. You got the echoey guitar picking, the groove just kind of fits in. This is, if you ever wanted to take an image, put it into an AI generator and say, what song is this? This would be kind of the song that would come out just based on the imagery on the album cover alone.
100%. And we've talked at length about how, you have to structure your album very carefully. Great opener.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing way to just set the tone for everything else.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't want to put that album cover on the shelf and the first song be some weird disco hit. It just wouldn't hit.
It wouldn't match at all. Exactly.
Also, I don't know if I want to hear Jeremy Renner doing some big disco hit, but I'd give it a try.
Yeah, I'm not sure. His voice doesn't lend to it, which is a compliment, I think. It lends more to this style.
No, it's very much. I wouldn't mind seeing him on a solo tour, the kind of band that he would put together for this. A lot of these songs would play well live in a small club.
100%. 100%.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
For my shuffle pick, I'm going with something that's a little bit more down tune. I'm going with December Days. There's a ton of emotion on this. Again, we're getting into that Smoky vibe, which I was really kind of leaning into this. December Days, though, adds a cinematic quality to everything and the gravel in his vocal delivery. This is where I say any comparisons to what Jacoby Shaddix does is a compliment. December Days is a song that Jacoby Shaddix could pull off and it would be a hit for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And I agree. I don't usually like the low tempo stuff, but this kind is okay with me. And that one was actually on my short list for shuffle. That was my honorable mention for my shuffle.
It's interesting because this album, this EP really only has 7 songs. So between the two of us, we have 6 songs each. And so far, we've gone 3 for 3 of not picking each other's songs. So this is going to be very interesting.
And I think it's a good thing, too, because less is more sometimes, especially when you're taking a big swing at things. And this would be a big swing for somebody in his kind of department to do. So I wouldn't try to put out a 12-song opus. Do exactly what he did here. Make 7 good ones. Just make a solid outing for your first one, which I think it was a sound strategy. I think he hit it really well here.
Also, think about the time that this album is released. March 27th, 2020. This is only a couple weeks after everything shut down for COVID. A song like December Days almost feels like it meets the moment. And obviously the songs would be written well before the release date. But I mean, even leading up to everything shutting down, we were getting a lot of information about the virus spreading and other countries and what they were doing. So you have to think that there's some kind of lurking sense of doom coming up that 100%. We all know what was coming. December Days felt like it met the moment for what people were listening to at that time.
Yeah, true. Because you say anything that, that came out in 2020, immediately, unfortunately, it's going to be saddled with that. Mm-hmm. Right? You're going to get the, oh man, I remember where I was. This was happening and blah, 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 blah. So it almost serves to polarize things a little bit more, even if it wasn't released, obviously, with this should come out right when the world shuts down.
Well, I mean, we talked about that on the Taylor Swift episode with Folklore and then with Evermore when they came out. It's like, yeah, they felt like the moment that they were released in.
Yeah, which is weird how it worked, right?
Like, I'm not saying we should ever compare a Jeremy Renner EP to a Taylor Swift album, but you know what?
I'm also not saying that Jeremy Renner and Taylor Swift knew about COVID happening. Put your tinfoil hats away. I can see a Facebook post getting written right now.
What did Hawkeye and Taylor Swift know? And also, when is Taylor Swift going to be cast as Dazzler in the MCU? Come on, people.
Don't let me dream, man. I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not a member of the cult. I haven't paid my dues. I haven't, carved anything into my hand just yet. But I do think she'd be great as Dazzler. I think that it works. It works so well.
I mean, I have thoughts on who should be Dazzler. I have one thought that's not Taylor Swift, and she'd be fantastic for it. Kiernan Shipka. But,
yeah.
If Taylor Swift gets the gig, I'm okay with it.
I think it makes sense to make it an actual pop star. A big pop star. Like, because that's what she is in the book. We're getting off track. We're getting into dream casting again.
It tends to happen around here, but also remember there was an appearance by Dazzler. If I remember correctly, it was either in it was in Dark Phoenix. It was like just a background character, but Dazzler does exist.
Oh no, she's there. It's definitely there. And multiverse theory, you can just throw anything at the wall and it'll stick now. RDJ's playing 3 people.
Why not?
Why not?
All right. For your shuffle pick, what'd you go with?
I also went something a little bit lower tempo, and I'm going to compare him to a completely different band from the opposite end of the spectrum with this pick, because I picked Ghost and Roses as my shuffle pick.
Okay.
More down tempo, but it seems very heartfelt. And what I compared it to, it's funny because it's in the name, it almost sounds like the cadence of a Ghost song.
Interesting.
It almost has that, like, it's got the church organ-y feel to it. It's very melodic, but it's really kind of like dark and downtrodden. I was listening to it, and all I could think of in my head was I could hear Papa singing this song. I could hear Ghost doing something like this, which is a huge compliment from me. I think Ghost is incredible. So that's what kind of brought me to this. It was almost my spin pick, but I do think Main Attraction is my favorite one. So Ghost and Roses is my shuffle for that reason.
Well, here's where we actually lock up for the first time, because this is actually my skip pick.
What?
Yep. Now, that being said, I completely agree with you. Musically, this song is fantastic. This is the only time on this entire disc that I don't think Jeremy Renner vocally meets the moment musically. I say that only because there's a part where, and again, I have hit horrible notes vocally, singing live. It happens. I get it. There's a part though where it feels like he's almost straining a little bit, and I'm like, oh, wouldn't a falsetto go well there?
Yeah, I guess I could see it, but like I said, I was feeling the Ghost vibe so immediately that I just love the feel of the song, I guess.
Yeah, it's literally that one little moment on this disc where I'm like, well, I got to pick a skip anyway, so I guess I'm going to have to point this out. And that's about it as far as, my ability to pick a skip off of this disc.
And to be fair, that's a really good position for us to be in, because we don't often get that. Yeah. Usually there's a couple competing for the skip. So if you're just putting something on there, you know what? The technicality, it's got to be this one. That goes to show it's a strong album, right?
Yeah. But I mean, like, it is hard to pull off some of those notes vocally. And I say that knowing that I have tried, and I down 2.5 step anytime I play live. So I get it. I fully understand. I needed a reason to pick a song, and this was the very minute reason I picked.
Hey, that makes sense. At least you have a reasoning behind it.
Oh, exactly. But the song yourself, like the writing of the song, the composition of it, the performance of it, it's solid. I had to find something.
That makes sense. I'll support it, but it's still my shuffle pick just alone because I stopped dead and was like, ooh, that's almost got a creepy feel to it.
Well, that means the only song left is your skip pick.
My skip pick is Every Woman. And the reason being, it kind of sounds like he's trying to be discount Rob Thomas. That's what Every Woman felt like to me. And I was listening to it, I'm like, this is the one I didn't feel as much as the other ones because it feels like he's trying to get somewhere with it. Like, it sounds like he heard a song that sounded like this. He's like, I want to do one like that. And like, it gives me Discount Smooth by Rob Thomas and Santana.
I mean, if you're going to try to emulate anything, that's not a half bad song to pick.
Rob Thomas is incredible. Santana is incredible. But trying to match that is not going to go well for you. And I think that's what happened here. Again, it's not terrible. It's not unlistenable, but it's the one that took me out of it for sure.
All right. So now I guess we just need Rob Thomas and Santana to get back together and do a cover of that song and call it a day.
Do a whole album, please. I've been begging for that team up. They did one incredible, like, banger for the ages and then never did much again, which is terrible.
That's like the ultimate, like, that is retiring on a Super Bowl right there.
It was. Smooth is incredible. That is, I think, on everybody's boat playlist that's ever had a boat. Like, can't go near the lake without playing it.
That would be like Tom Brady coming in his rookie year, winning the Super Bowl, and then retire on the spot.
And then just leaving. Yeah. Or going to Florida for a year and then leaving.
Yep. And then we're going to take up the Expos on being drafted.
What a life.
See? It's an educational podcast. You get you get movie talk, you get fan casting talk, and you get sports talk all at the same time.
Is any of this information useful? No. Is it amazing to know? Oh, yeah.
Dude, nothing I've said over the past 4 years over these podcasts has been anywhere near useful, but it is fun.
That's our curse, Jason. Someone has to have this knowledge. Someone has to pass it along.
Right. Well, with great movie and music knowledge comes great responsibility.
Yeah. And except we focus on all the bad ones.
Over on the movie channel, yes.
So we focus on all the bad ones.
Good songs, bad movies. That's what makes our week. That's right.
What makes it go.
Lyle, please remind our listeners what your spin, shuffle, and skip picks are from Jeremy Renner's The Medicine EP.
My spin is Main Attraction. My shuffle was Ghosts and Roses. And my skip was Every Woman.
All right. And for me, my spin is The Medicine. My shuffle is December Days. And my skip is Ghosts and Roses. Lyle, thanks so much for this. As always, let our listeners know where they can find you out there on the interwebs.
I am one of the producers for Anthem Sports Entertainment. You can find me on Instagram at LyleR11. Watch your TNA Wrestling every Thursday night, folks.
All right, dude. Thank you so much. And I apologize for some of the albums you're going to have to cover coming up, but you're also welcome for some of the albums that we have coming up of our Avengers Spin Shuffle Skip celebration. All right. Until next time, dear listeners, you guys know the drill. If there's an album that you want us to cover on Spin, Shuffle, Skip, or an artist you want us to cover on There Can Only Be One, hit us up on social media at OnlyOneCast or go to our website at NotThatBadcast.com. Until next time, he's Lyle, I'm Jay. You guys are awesome. This is Spin, Shuffle, Skip on the There Can Only Be One podcast channel. Take care.